Welcome to episode 45 of the Curios Cast, where we revisit an old topic, the man who counted every one of his sneezes, and we also discuss someone who counted a different bodily function. What do you guys remember of the sneeze count man?
I remember... I don't remember much. I remember that he counted his sneezes. And he had a couple of best hits. He had
that's it. He kept a sneeze journal, wasn't it? And he sort of documented his life in a way, because it was like sneeze when I had a child and stuff. And
So for anyone who doesn't remember or didn't listen to that episode, it was episode 9. I think it was the first one that I was on. Like not just filling in for someone as a host. So
fully fledged.
I thought pretty good topic to come with on your debut, you know. But yeah, at the time, I just thought it was funny that this person. I don't know where I found the blog initially of this man. Just every single time he sneezed, he would write down the strength of the sneeze from sort of mild to moderate to strong. The place in where he was, where the sneeze took place, and that would be either it could be a small location like the bedroom or the kitchen, but then it could be if he was on holiday, you know, the airport or a different country or a different town, and also what he was doing at the time as well. So could be something very boring, just sitting on a computer doing work, checking emails, or he might be up to something quite interesting. And the blog goes on for the first log of the sneeze was July 2007, and it goes on till June of 2018. So 11 years of sneezes were recorded.
That's strong, isn't it?
Why did he give up?
So that was one of the questions I had for him when I asked him a few questions. I did ask him recently. So I initially sent him a message on Twitter asking him just a list of questions, and he did write back, and he answered my questions, and we spoke about those on episode 9. And I messaged him recently and asked if he wanted to do a video interview, but he said he's really busy at the moment. Since starting a blog, he's become a a medical statistician in clinical trials. So it's quite a relevant job to. I don't know if maybe if that was part of his application.
Yeah, he used that as his case study. So look what I've done.
Yeah, because he's counting a bodily function, which I guess is what a medical statistician is. That's probably all they do, right? Count sneezes and stuff. But I guess he's quite busy at the moment. He said he wasn't available, but wished us all the best. But yeah, Peter Fletcher is his name. He didn't give up the blog. So he said, that was one of my first questions. I said, what happened in May 2018 that made you stop recording the sneezes? And he said, I haven't updated the website for ages because I just haven't gotten around to it. But I'm still keeping a detailed record of each one and hope to update them in due course, ideally soon.
When was that you asked him then? He said he was still doing it.
November of 2019.
Okay, so fairly...
and he said he wanted to update it ideally soon, but he still hasn't updated it.
So that's 11 years of sneeze recordings he's got.
Yeah, so he's got 11 on the website, but he's actually got... what did I say? 2007. So 14 years.
That's nothing to be sneezed at, is it? That?
No, it's not.
Isn't it sniffed at?
It is.
Oh. No, it's not.
It is.
Nah, bullshit.
It's not nothing to be sneezed at, is it? Why'd you fucking say that? That's a classic of bone apple tea, isn't it?
Bone apple tea, yeah.
Nothing to be sneezed at.
No.
Means, nothing to sneeze at means something that is not an inconsequential matter, not a trifling thing.
No
Example
bullshit.
of use. When Daniel was chosen to be valedictorian, he was so proud because the honour of being chosen to represent your entire class is nothing to sneeze at.
No, that's bullshit. They've all just got it wrong as well.
So what did you think it was? Sniffed
Nothing
at?
to be sniffed at, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Who sniffs?
Like, like.
Maybe it's the same thing, but
mine's correct and that one's wrong.
Well, why would nothing to be sneezed at be listed as an idiom?
Because... people are idiots.
I'm starting to doubt myself.
You're
Can't
the
even.
only idiom in this conversation.
Yeah. No, you're an idiom. Maybe we should count all of our sniffs. Count all of our, as well as sneezes.
Well, that's nothing to be sniffed at.
No. But yeah, no. A couple of the other questions that he answered for me. I asked if he had a favourite sneeze or any sneezes that were special to him, and he says he doesn't have a favourite sneeze as such, but he could go back and do things like, the last sneeze before he became a father, or significant...
Sneeze at conception.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I asked him how he goes about recording sneezes during inappropriate moments, like... he could be in like an important meeting with boss, his boss, and is he supposed to just, as soon as he sneezes, pull out his little journal and write it down? Or do you have to just try and remember and keep that in your mind until you're out of the office? Or, having a shag, what do you do if you sneeze when you're having sex? Do you just go, sorry, love, and write it down? And how honest do you be when it says like, I was in the bathroom, I was in the kitchen, I was in her cunt? Like, what do you write down?
Do you sneeze while having sex? Has anyone ever done that?
He says if anyone's got to, this is the guy that's going to do it.
Well, he says, there we go. I'm trying to find his exact words. Oh, there's never been a problem sneezing at inappropriate time. I think because there's some unconscious negative pressure to sneeze at a time when it's awkward. So I think you subconsciously must not sneeze. Like it must be.
I can't think of a time I've ever done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have. Because I did look. I scoured all 5,132 sneezes to find one where it was maybe an embarrassing situation and he's written down something kind of awkward, but there was none. So maybe I think he's onto something, that you don't sneeze when it would be inappropriate, especially when you subconsciously know, I'm gonna have to write this down and put this on my blog for that weird guy of a podcast to talk about. One thing that was quite significant was the gap between sneeze 999 and 1,000. I'm gonna try and find it. I'll link you the website actually. But he was sneezing sort of like on average, maybe every day or maybe every other day. Sometimes it's like sometimes you sneeze 4 or 5 times a day. Sometimes you might go days without sneezing, but you just don't realise it because no one's counting their sneeze. But here I am. 999 was on the 19th of October 2008, and then 1,000 was on the 31st of October. So he went like 12 days without sneezing. And obviously he knew the next sneeze would be sneeze 1,000, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't coming. Like he couldn't do it. Just wasn't performing.
I love the like his just short, succinct descriptions. 366, Suite 724, 1 Kings West, Toronto mild ironing, news of snow. That little
yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, little snapshots into his life. It's good.
Yeah, have a little look through and see if you can find any that stand out to you. Like this one, for example, 991. He was in the bedroom. It was a moderate sneeze. With the first hints of a sore throat, waiting for my vitamin C to dissolve to the sound of The Wedding Present. Some of them are real.
This one sounds a bit sexy. Bedroom, moderate. Speech marks. I really, really want it.
Oh,
what was he doing there?
Sultry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's like he really wanted to. Doesn't he like rate the sneeze? Is that what moderate is? Moderate is the.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not many strong ones.
Front room,
most
moderate
of them are
to
moderate.
strong. Small clanger has made a star. That sounds like code. Are you sure he's not a spy? And this is
These are all secret messages to the Russians.
Yeah. This is all part of Cicadia 330.
Yeah, Cicadia.
Is it
Cicada.
Cicada, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Cicada. Oh, yeah.
Cicadia.
Yeah. I asked him why he started as well. I said, was there anything special about Sneeze Zero that was like, wow, I need to start recording these sneezes? And the answer is no. He just had the idea and decided to go for it. No, that was basically it. He said he started doing it sort of like half-heartedly and then actually sort of restarted again. So Sneeze One's not actually really Sneeze One. But yeah, I just found it interesting because, like you said at the beginning, Rob, you kind of go through and you see this guy's life kind of, I guess, progress a little bit. Like
through the lens of sneezing.
Yeah, and like, so you see, if you go to like July of 2008, you see that he is going to Latitude Festival, and you see he's sneezing like on the way there. It's like driving up to, if it's Suffolk or Norfolk, Suffolk, I think. It's like driving up to Suffolk, and you know he's in the car sneezing. Then you see he's watching C6 Steve, and he's sneezing like at the show. He's sneezing while trying to find a mate's tent. It says like trying to find James's tent, and he sneezes there as well. So you see he's just like out having a great time and everything.
Yeah.
And it's only a year later he sneezes. He's starting to sneeze in the hospital at like the prenatal courses or whatever they're called, gearing up to have a kid. And
there's a moderate to strong here, noting the speed limit.
Ooh. I've got a moderate to strong as well.
Oh, go on. What was he doing?
Kitchen, Birmingham, moderate to strong, making porridge. I don't know if I'd accept that porridge after a moderate to strong sneeze.
This is it
in the vicinity
one as well. Dining room, moderate to strong, sorting sneeze count notebook bag and realising that I hadn't sneezed yet today.
Some of them are quite meta as well. He'll be sneezing when he's uploading the sneezes to the website. Yeah, so it's always a bit interesting.
Oh, I've got a strong. I've got a solid strong.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Kitchen, Birmingham, strong. Having just applied ground pepper to supper.
Steve.
Classic, absolute vintage sneeze right there. Yeah.
Another strong. That's.
Was it on was it at the same time? Was it
27th of July 2007, and the second one is 29th of July.
Oh.
He's in the UK here, or is there a British museum in? Is he right? Is he in?
Yeah, he's
in the UK.
Yeah,
he's in the UK. Sorry. He's visiting the British Museum then at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting, and you see it's in 2009, May of 2009. Sneeze number 1446 is his first sneeze as a father, and you can see just before and that's how he's titled it, is just first sneeze as a father. And you see just before and you see just after, he's literally in the maternity ward, obviously just waiting. One of them just says, can I go home now? Or can I go home yet? Or something. He's obviously just, stressed out and tired as a new father. But from then on, you see a lot of sneezes where he's just doing fucking, boring parent shit. Like you see people like changing nappies and like burping his child and boring shit like that. There is an incredible amount of Peppa Pig as well that he's watching as well. I was flicking through and there's just watching Peppa Pig over and over again.
Well, being a parent's nothing to be sneezed at,
There's nothing to say to that, George.
I want to know what the consensus is. Do people think it's not much to be sneezed at or sniffed at? I want to know because I think you're wrong, Rob.
I fucking ain't.
This is going to be the courgette all over it, was it? Oh no, marrow, wasn't it? Is it marrows?
Which I think I was right, wasn't I?
No, that was inconclusive. That was like aliens.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit inconclusive. yeah, let us know whether you think it's nothing to be sniffed at or nothing to be sneezed at by leaving us a 5-star review and just write in, this podcast is nothing to be sneezed at, or this podcast is nothing to be sniffed at.
It is 100% sneezed. I'll give £1. Don't know who to.
Yeah. No, I'll bet you my next payment to you for our Podbean subscription.
Well, that never happens. So. Speaking of, has that gone in?
Yeah. It's there.
You see other stuff in his sneezes as well. So like, sort of like significant world events and stuff. You can see what he keeps up to date with every Euros and every World Cup that's on as well. So a lot of the time you'll just see he's watching, Portugal versus Hungary or some shit like that. You see he's
sorry, Portuguese or Hungarian listeners.
You see him watching like significant sort of like political events that have happened and certain like prime ministers and events that have happened, and you sort of flick through like, oh yeah. I tried to go to like December 2012 when the world was ending and see if he mentioned the world ending. Remember when the Mayans, predicted that the world was going to end in December, but he didn't say anything about that. He was obviously not too bothered. Although he was, actually no, maybe he was. He went Alton Towers that day, but he was at the Kelvedon nuclear bunker in bollocks to Alton Towers. I don't know what that means.
It's code, spy code.
But
the Kelvedon nuclear bunker. You've been there, haven't you?
I think I've driven past. Is that where there's the signs that say like secret nuclear bunker?
Yeah, and it's a classic bit of like a lol.
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be kind of weird there. It's like a sort of kind of shitty local museum.
Okay.
But yeah, you once was going to be a nuclear bunker, But I guess he's visited there, instead of Alton Towers, or left Alton Towers, or
yeah, he went there on that day the world was meant to end, the 21st of December, 2012. He went to the Kelvedon nuclear bunker, so maybe he was a little worried.
Do you remember when everyone thought the millennium bug was going to be a thing?
I was a little bit too young, but obviously I know of it and I've seen.
I was talking about it the other day. Yeah, and I remember people like it was like not the news and shit. People being like, "Oh, the millennium bug, will it be a real?" Like, no, fuck. You really think like
a clock is going to blow everything up?
Yeah, no, it was that they thought like people hadn't like fought to write this into code for like computer systems that controlled fucking nuclear weapons and shit. And they thought that they would just like all go off.
Well, I've heard sort of interviews with people who were in, programming at the time, and it was genuinely a bit of a nightmare because a lot of the code hadn't been programmed to go past 19, and obviously, I'm sure when it came to like, nuclear missiles, they weren't just programmed to shoot off if it got to 2000 or something.
Yeah.
But there's interviews with people who worked for maybe like big banks or credit card companies and stuff, and they were like, fuck, we need to rewrite so much of our system, otherwise it might just bug out and completely crash and we lose everything. So like, there was potential that like shit could happen, but I think all it meant was just a few people got paid overtime to code some 2s and 0s, and that was it. Just add the 20 at the beginning.
Time and a half.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for Peter. Like it is just we're kind of revisiting that. I thought it was cool just to mention it again because I wanted to segue in. Last time we spoke about him in episode 9, we said that we should start maybe recording one of our bodily functions.
I was hoping this was coming. I was gonna.
I didn't do it. But I remember I said, I'll record every wank. Why not? And then I don't know. Once we left the studio, I realised how many of my friends, family, and colleagues listen to this podcast. I thought I'm not going to do that.
We're about to say how many wanks I have, and it would have just been ridiculous.
Yeah. There wasn't enough Google Docs free storage for me to save all the information. But no, but so there's this subreddit, you might have heard of it. It's called Data is Beautiful. And it's basically where people just post like graphs and just data that they've recorded. So the description of the subreddit is: data is beautiful is for visualizations that effectively convey information. Aesthetics are an important part of information visualization, but pretty pictures are not the aim of this subreddit. So people will do it maybe with the Olympics, and they'll do like a really good sort of like infographic or pie chart on medals won to like country population ratio or something like that. And the whole idea is you can see these bits of data in a really easy to digest way. And this user on here called Touching for Science
Really like it.
in 2013 made this post, which was: I recorded data about my masturbation sessions for 1 year. Here are the results. And he links to a Google spreadsheet, and he made a line graph as well, and some key stats. So I'm just gonna link you.
He's having like hour and a half long sessions.
Yeah. So there's the Reddit link, and there's the Google Docs link as well. And the spreadsheet is it's pretty simple. It's the date, the start time, so the time he started wanking, and the finish time, and then how long it took, and then the time since previous completion, so how long he'd left it in between wanks. Now, at the time when he started recording this, he was 18 years old, so you can maybe understand, like, 18-year-olds might wank a lot, he's probably, still growing and whatever. But yeah, a lot of most of these are pretty long.
It says longest session, 150 minutes.
Yeah. Even his shortest session, only
3
5
hours.
minutes. Like, yeah. Average time 44 minutes 29 seconds. Average time.
Wait time.
Yeah, average time between sessions is 1 day 16 hours. And then
recharging.
Yeah, and then the bit at the bottom here is good. He says he calculated that he's spent 1.8% of the past year masturbating, and assuming 8 hours of sleep, he spent 3% of all his waking time masturbated as well.
That's good.
And it got really big on the subreddit. I think at the time it was the biggest post ever on that subreddit. Obviously, everyone's just fucking. It's just the thing about Reddit is people come into the comments and they reply to this as if it's completely normal. It's like the top thing is not telling him how much of a fucking weirdo he is or anything like that. It's just saying that, in my opinion, line chart is a poor choice for your data points. The relationship between consecutive sessions isn't your focus point. And it's just people having like a completely normal conversation about the amount of time this guy's wanked.
I love it.
And so this was 2013. He'd done the same thing in 2014, 2015, and 2016. So excellent. In 2016, he posted this. He said, "I recorded my masturbation habits for a fourth and final year." So he was done with it. He wasn't gonna carry on anymore. But he combined all the years together to make a big sort of like finale. And his number of sessions between 2016 and 17 was 292. So out of 365 days, he only didn't wank 73 of them. That is mad.
I like this comment here. It says, "It is absolutely beautiful and incredible that you have to assume 8 hours of sleep, but can say with absolute precision that you jerk off every 1.6 days."
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, he done the accumulative data link, for all 4 years. What was that?
Where did you put that link, by the way?
In WhatsApp.
Oh, WhatsApp's been weird. Oh, never mind.
I could put it in here.
No, it's fine.
The accumulative data for 2013 all through to 2016. Number of sessions 1,189. The longest session was still 150 minutes, so he didn't exceed that after the first year. He did bring his average time down and his shortest session down. So his shortest session was only 2 minutes, and the average time was 32 minutes.
Is he starting a timer for these as well? Like, is he getting all? Yeah, he does. He gets the stopwatch out.
Yeah. So, and he's got a frequently asked questions section. After the 4th year, he was 22 years old, male, circumcised.
That's freaking awesome.
One session means one orgasm. If he went back immediately for a second go, he would count it as a separate session. All sessions are with porn.
When would he do that? Are there times where he's done that?
This guy, like, if you look at the spreadsheet, and we'll get to, there's some interesting points on the spreadsheet we'll get to in a second. All sessions are with porn and lotion unless specified in the notes section of the spreadsheet. So as the
lotion out as well.
Yeah, so as the years went on, I'll link you the 2016 to 2017 log. He has a notes section as well, where he says things along the lines of felt very good, warm, large yield.
Large yield.
Went in dry, large yield, felt good.
Look at this one. Dick has a cut on left side, hurts terribly, but when I came, it felt like an explosion. Normal yield.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is I think in 2015, so in the 2015 to 2016 spreadsheet, on the 7th of April 2015, it says this: had sex for the first time, didn't actually come, so that's why there's another entry immediately after this one. Duration is NA because it was just kind of on and off for about 3 hours. So from 2015, you start having not just wanks, but also sex sessions.
I was wondering if there was any, yeah.
Yeah, and he put that in the, I think in the final summary, he said, something notable, I got a girlfriend and midway through the year, we began having sex regularly. She knows about the data collection and tells me I'm quirky. So she was, I guess she was fine with it. But yeah, he starts.
I love reason for session.
Yeah,
and pretty much all of them are bored.
Yeah, so he says why he masturbated, and the options are always either bored, horny, or sex. And then there's one in there that was curious. Oh, and procrastinating as well. Yeah, there was one where the reason for sex was reason for masturbation was because he was curious. I can't remember what he was curious about though. But there's a couple. Have a little look through and see if you can find any funny, I guess, like entries, because some of them. Oh, what's this one? One of the reason for entry is emotional distress. First time since having multiple catheters in my urethra on September 11th, 2017. Never forget.
Savage. I've got one here. This one's a bit bleak. Sex, all-time record. Not sure what it's a record of. It doesn't say. Also, girlfriend threw up afterwards. # how we do. What the fuck?
He sits and wanks with his girlfriend as well, by the looks of it.
I said that a few times.
Yeah, it says girlfriend watched.
Dick was very raw.
Oh.
Lovely.
Oh.
Coming out, pulled through anyway. He gets quite a lot of pain with his penis. What's he doing?
I think he is just. I think he might be
just going in dry.
Jeez, that took a while. 80 minutes.
He's just battering it, like slapping it around. Like if you catch an eel, you have to slap it on the rocks. That's what he's doing with it.
With this one, it was only. Wait, what is this? Oh, so the time was 37 minutes but time since last orgasm was only 2 minutes. So he went for one, then went for it again. And the note says, was already depleted, but went for it anyway. Now I'm even more depleted.
Little puffs of air.
This guy.
I've got a friend, right, who obviously shall not be named, but talks about when they're hungover, they just have to have wanks to make himself feel better. And he refers to it as DEFCON and the amount of wanks he's had that day. So like, oh man, I was so hungover, it was like DEFCON 3, like, which means he had to have 3 wanks.
That's ridiculous.
And sometimes he's like, yeah, it was just literally like puffs of air coming out, like sawdust.
Surely that loses even more of your vital minerals. And,
yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? And your energy, like, yeah.
You always see those things that saying, oh, apparently, cumming's really good for like headaches and stuff. And I wonder how true that is and how much of it is blokes saying that to either get away with wanking, oh, I had a headache, or to try and get a bit of action.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I suppose, though, like a release of endorphins.
Yeah, probably.
I think it works.
Facts right here, don't worry, lads.
13th of August 2016, 4 minutes. I came for the first time with a girl. Fuck the doubters, fuck the haters, fuck all the little masturbators.
What? Who's doubting this? Like, who's it?
Oh, this one's great.
Never gonna happen, man.
16 minutes. Reason for masturbating, horny. Shouldn't have done it. Plan on having sex tonight. And then the face that's like colon and / like the sort of upset face. And then later on, lol, fuck y'all, I did it anyway. There's one where he
what is this? Oh, this one's horrible. Yield was really warm.
Oh, is he feeling it?
Yield is such a
yield.
It's such a yeah.
Had to rush a bit because I was trying to hide this session from the girlfriend. But it took 33 minutes. Oh no, wait, that was time since last orgasm. Jesus, so 11 minutes was how long it took.
Hurt from UTI.
So like, for someone that has like some really long wanks, then he can. It's pretty mad that he can, like, 33 minutes later bang out an 11-minute.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with the long ones then? He's purposely taking his time.
Okay, that's hours. Okay.
Like sting.
So the duration of the wank is in minutes, but the time between wanks is in hours. So it's 33 hours between wanks. Okay.
So he's like, yes, he has time to warm up.
Yeah.
Limber up, does some stretching.
Refuel.
Yeah, because there is the odd 0 in here. Like, he didn't leave it any time at all.
I see, 0 days. I see, or is it
0 hours?
Okay.
So on here, it's got time since previous completion days.
Oh, I'm looking at the 2017.
This is 2016. Oh, he changed that up to 2017.
He's not consistent, There's one where he's talking about the height that he got on it. I was trying to find
the height.
Yeah. And he went into some detail as well. It was pretty good.
How's he measuring that?
Got a ruler.
Yeah, just stands by it and films it in slow motion as well, like in the high frame rate when he plays it back.
Here we go.
Really high frame rate things they use at the Olympics. When he starts going all flashy.
Yeah. It was only a couple of weeks before he had sex for the first time. 33 minutes. It is 1 day since previous completion. Reason was horny. Got some real distance for the first time today. Normally, it kind of just oozes out the tip. But today, I probably got a good 4 inches straight into the air.
Oozes out the tip.
Yeah. It's good. So, also...
Why is it oozing out the tip as well? What's going on there?
So...
The Curios Cast, it just oozes out the tip.
On the Reddit post where he says this is going to be his final year, he added a little edit to the bottom, and he says, "Girlfriend convinced me to do it another year, and she wants to do it with me. I've written code on both of our phones to upload the session data to Google Docs to fully streamline the process. We have 3 spreadsheets, a solo masturbation log for each of us, and a joint sex log. See you all February 24th, 2018. Now,
Nice.
I went on his profile. And he also says, "Oh, my girlfriend has an account," and his account, which was Touching for Science, her account is Vibrating for Science. But she has no posts. There's no posts, no comments, no like Reddit activity at all. So she didn't post anything. And I don't think it seems like people started losing interest over time, or he just wasn't putting in as much effort, because there is
Maybe his code didn't work.
Yeah, I guess his code didn't work. Maybe.
You run out of yield.
But he didn't do any later posts after that. So I guess in the end he did just give up. So his last Reddit activity was 4 years ago, and that's it. The last thing he put on Reddit was just a comment saying that they're going to be back next year, and they weren't.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, maybe I'll try and find out what's up
his mental.
Well, yeah, I do enjoy this this comment right at the top of it as well. In quotations, I recorded my masturbation habits for a 4th and final year, and it's like, this sentence is as Reddit-esque as it gets.
Yeah.
The only thing you could have improved it would be to have like the weight of the yield.
Weight.
Or like the fluid ounce or whatever.
I did have like a little bet with some of my friends. Like, I was convinced I could fill a shot glass with my yield.
I remember you saying this, yeah. You said you was going to get back to us on that.
Yeah, well, okay.
That's Patreon.
Now we're talking about
Patreon
now we're talking about data again. Patreon, God,
yeah, we could do how
That's
high
awful.
you can shoot and how much yield.
Yeah, that is
It's been a little ill.
that is that guy.
Well, good luck to him. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Let us know
Probably wanked himself into a coma.
your longest wank, listeners.
Your mate will give him a run for his money, won't he?
Yeah, I don't think he's about that life anymore. That was like when we were 15, 16.
Yeah.
He came into school. I think he was trying to impress us and said, "Oh yeah, I had a wank 3.5 hours." And he said it in a way that he said it in a way like we were supposed to be impressed, and we were like, "What the fuck?" Like 3.5 hours. He's like, "Yeah, that's why I wasn't online playing COD with you last night." We were like,
Brilliant.
Jesus, that's
Fair play, man. That's some self-love.
something wrong with you, man.
Self-love. Yeah, I think I mentioned this at the time probably as well. I had a mate who reckoned he had 7 wanks in a day.
It's impossible.
I can believe that.
I can believe that. Like, it's real dedication
Was he?
to the cause.
How old was he at the time?
Like, this was, I guess, was young, like young, dumb, full of cum. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Well, no, exactly.
Not after that.
Yeah,
That'll take like a good week and a half to reload.
yeah, it would. Yeah, that must have puffs a bit.
But yeah,
Well-
hopefully the sneeze man, if his schedule frees up anytime soon, we might get a little
Yes,
video. With
I
him or
enjoy
something.
the sneeze, man. Much more PG. But it was a perfect segue into a very Curios Cast topic, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Episode without a bit of yield all over the place.
and yeah, I'll message this guy on Reddit, see if he still, logs into his account every now and then, and maybe get some answers from him.
Some tips.
Let us know what you want us to ask this wanker.
I didn't really, just on a quick one, I didn't really do it because I remembered this at all, but just there was a period in time when me and Gina did start writing on the wall how many shits we'd done. because she didn't believe
I'm sure she really liked you talking about this.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll love it. She didn't believe how many shits that I did. She was like, "There's no way you shit that much." Like, I was like, "Well, let's see." So we started. We got like the downstairs wall is like chalkboard, so you can just write on it, like the whole wall. So we started like logging
Doing
it,
like a tally.
Yeah, doing like a tally. And mine was like quite absurdly high, but just stopped doing it. So maybe I'll try and revive that.
Yeah, add a little comment on there as well about the yield and
Yield.
you know, just how it was.
Weigh it. I was like catching him in a bag and weighing it.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, you know Rob and I's poo story, or the good old reminiscing we always do about.
Yeah, there's a few different ones, but
George's classic, yes. Doth of the hat in memory of that time.
Yeah.
You're talking about the mystery no wipes.
Yeah.
No wipes.
Yeah.
Good solid. I reckon it was a good month and a half.
I swear it grows every time you're talking about it, like a fisherman talking about his fish. Like,
Yeah, I thought it started off like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I swear it was a couple of days.
It was at least 2 weeks. It was just pure. I achieved perfect
balance is what you said before.
Yeah, like a Buddhist
between mind and body.
Achieving. What are they achieving? Like can't remember what it's called now.
Nirvana.
Yeah, he reached Nirvana.
Like that. I reached it. That was the peak of my existence. Everything since has been.
And just to round off a perfect Curios Cast episode, let's talk about George's shit.
Well, hope you enjoyed.
If that's not worth 5 stars, I don't know what is.
Leave us a review and tell us either whether it's something to be sneezed at, sniffed at, your biggest shit, your biggest wank, whatever you want to tell us. That's where you're gonna want to put it, right there for everyone on iTunes to see.
All right, nice one, Tom.
Sweet. See you next week.
Episode
45.